Well, welcome folks to our special 2020 USTA Georgia Award Winners presentation. Normally we're at a beautiful hotel in front of a nice dinner. At this point, we'd probably be a day eating salads, getting ready for Sam Crenshaw's great presentations, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, that's not possible this year. But joining me this morning is the 2020 USTA Georgia President's Award winner, Dave Neuhart of Columbus. Dave, how are you this morning?
Doing great, Darren. Thank you very much.
And Dave, when we're talking this the day after the Kansas City Chiefs won another AFC championship, so I assume that's going to have a permanent smile for 2 weeks.
It might last a little while. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck against Tampa Bay. I hope it all works out. But what a great accomplishment. I know you're a huge fan of the Chiefs, so
yes.
Well done. So Ashley Massingale, our former president, who just transitioned out, makes these decisions for the President's Award. And when she told me she was going to select you, obviously that was a no-brainer. I mean, Dave, you've done so much for USTA Georgia at all levels, including being our president. Can you maybe talk about the years you were the president of the association and maybe one or two things you're most proud of that you were able to influence or accomplish?
Yeah, well, I think, being president obviously is a wonderful honor. And I think sometimes we catch ourselves kind of being in the process, like from when I started as a vice president and did those number of years, then executive vice president. But until you come to be the president, it's the realization of how many things that are needing to be handled throughout a daily basis, and working with you on, checking every week, multiple times a week, making sure we're getting things done we need to. There's just a lot of stuff. And, Georgia being, probably bigger than most of the sections in the country, there's a lot going on in this state in tennis, and it's a lot of great stuff. So just being involved is a really good honor. And I think, being a part of the whole organization from the beginning and being the vice president for so many years, or one of the vice presidents for so many years, helped me get ready for that a little bit. But once it hit, it was obviously overwhelming to some extent. But, obviously with you helping me all the way through, that was great. But, I really enjoyed the time that I was president. As far as what we accomplished, I think we kept things going. We kept tennis growing a little bit, and we were always trying to get those numbers back to where they were in the, what they say the heyday was. But I think, for the most part, we just kept the engine going and going in the right direction and so forth. And, I feel sorry for Ashley, our most immediate past president, and she kind of went through the COVID time period, which wasn't so easy to do, but we were still open and everything was going fine, and kind of caught up in a lot of the regular activities that were going on. But I think we've had, the many years that we continue to win Georgia in the Georgia-Florida games and so forth. We did well there and kept winning those awards and so many years in a row. And all of our committees were running pretty smoothly. So I think it was a matter of just keeping that engine going that so many people had done before me, that I just tried my best to keep tennis growing in our part of the world.
Yeah, well, I think I could speak for all of our staff. Your personal nature, your touch, your celebration of the people that grow and promote tennis is really evident. Dave, you have a really interesting tennis story, and maybe we can touch on it just a little bit. I mean, you were a PBI pro with Peter Burwash International. I know we've talked about before that kind of Peter was ahead of his time with the concept that he had, and all the years that where we came across each other, you were the director of tennis at Reynolds Plantation out at Lake Oconee. Can you talk about that experience and what you learned from there, and maybe just being part of PBI?
Yeah, I mean, it's been my life. I kind of started way back in 1980 and got started out of college and so forth, and went a lot of different places and experienced a lot of different cultures and so forth. It was a great experience, and has been and continues to be. Reynolds Plantation was a unique facility. They were already grown up as a major kind of destination with the Ritz-Carlton Hotel there and the club, and just being able to get on the ground floor of what tennis was doing there, because they had like 20 playing members, I think, there. at the time that were tennis players, and the rest was golf. And it still is really large with golf. They have marinas and all kinds of things there with Lake Oconee. So my job was to go in there and build tennis like golf. They said they wanted to build it as big as golf, and that was kind of the mission, if you would say, when I got there. And so we went to probably right around between 500 and 600 tennis playing members when I did decide to leave and come over to Green Island Country Club. So our growth was evident, our programming was evident, and we became a more relevant factor on property. And people are now starting to buy homes there because the tennis program was going so well. Right. And I can't take all of the credit. It's always a team effort. But building a team around you was very important and very helpful. So I feel like if you can get the right people in the right places, a lot we do as well with the USTA, then programs kind of run on their own. But things were going smoothly and going well, and we kind of got to a limit where the growth had maxed out to the number of courts they were going to allow us to build. So right. It was time to look for something new and exciting. I've always been a builder of programs and growth and so forth. So that's why the USTA has always been a nice challenge for me on my volunteer side. But I just enjoy doing what I do, and I probably never stop doing that. I always love to grow.
Well, to me, you're the epitome of what a director of tennis is, and why I say that. There's really only two people I've ever met that I'd say that. One, I was his best man in his wedding, Chuck Kingman, and you're the second. And what I'm saying is that what I've noticed with you, Dave, is when your members walk in the door, number one, you greet them by their first name, every single one of them. Okay, you know their name. Number two, you know what they need before they know what they need in terms of, a question, a playing style, any sort of thing. I mean, just something that I've always been very impressed with. Your personality is perfect for this kind of work. What made you decide, hey, I want to have this livelihood? Because you're a perfect match in my humble opinion.
Well, I was very lucky growing up. I had two parents that were very customer service oriented in their own way. My mom was a teacher and ended up going to administration later on and working at a college lab school. My father was always in business of some type, but he also became a college professor as well. One of their big things they passed on to me was surround yourself with good people all the time, and then you'll never go wrong, because if you have a problem, you can't figure it out, those people will help you. Then also, make sure that whenever someone crosses your path, they have a better day. And if you can do that, then you've accomplished something. But to do that, you've got to do your homework. You got to plan and figure out what things they need. What are the skill sets you need to have to be able to provide the type of customer service that you need. And customer service really is all about relationships. So if you can continue to build relationships and do your best to make sure that they see you as part of that family when they come to the club, then they know that they're going to be taken care of. They're going to get their all of their needs and wants, and sometimes those don't always mesh, but we try to get to what they need whenever they want it. So I think the relationship factor is what's most important. And I've always treated everybody at every club wherever I've been, that they're a family member, even if they're only there for a little period of time. They become part of that whole process.
And make sure to promote tennis up and down the aisles at Publix.
Exactly. That's why I always wore my name tag.
Yeah, you're in the frozen. Yeah, you're in the frozen food aisle. Hey, how are the vegetables here? By the way, how's your forehand? So
yeah,
that was always funny. So now you're at Green Island Country Club, one of the great clubs in our state in Columbus. So we were lucky to keep you. I know you were being recruited by a lot of different clubs all around the South, and we're just so blessed you stayed in Georgia. But Columbus is such a great tennis town, right? I mean,
exactly.
Corda, the CTA, is probably the epitome of what a CTA should be all across the country. And it didn't take them long to swoop you up. You became president, 10 minutes after you moved to Columbus, it seemed like. Your experience so far in Columbus, I mean, you already had connections to the town anyway, right, with the celebrity?
Yes.
Yeah. No brainer moving to Columbus. What a great tennis town, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done the Celebrity Classic since 1999, and I'm in charge of getting all the professionals together, which is about 15 or 16, whatever we need for that particular year, for running all the pros that we bring in, 15 or 16 pros, to manage anywhere from, I can't even remember the numbers. There are hundreds of people on the court. So on 30 courts, we run everybody through, and we're probably, one of the most successful charity events in the country. I mean, because it's continued over many, many years, and we're, way past the $6 million mark of what we've raised over the years. But I knew those people, and a lot of the organizers were members here at Green Island. So when the position came up, I was getting text messages and emails and all kinds of things. Hey, Dave, would you like to come in and, join us here in Columbus? And, the excitement of knowing the people already, and knowing the town, and seeing how busy and active the tennis is here. And Helen Martin was another driving force for that as well. Helen being from Columbus, and she's been on the USTA board and president of Georgia, and serving all across the country. She also was a good influence of trying to get me over here to Columbus. And it just seemed like a really good fit for my family. It's the second largest city in the state, and lots to do here. And as I told my wife, I said, we'll have more than one grocery store to choose from. Now we're in Columbus, it's a bigger city. So she liked that also.
We can comparison shop.
Yes.
So speaking of your family, your beautiful wife, Lori, and of course you're a grandfather now. Can you talk about maybe, their influence? And I mean, it's everything to you, right? I know that.
Yes. It's kind of what my parents also influenced in me to do, is find somebody that you want to spend your life with, that you will, one, enjoy being around all the time, enjoy them when they're older and we don't look the same as we do when we did younger, and also someone that you experience from and have similar likes and dislikes. And I think, I found someone, I'm very, very lucky, I found someone that I can learn from every single day. I mean, she was one of those really smart, intelligent people that is very mild-mannered and just super humble. I mean, my humble beginnings are nothing like hers. She is just the greatest person that anyone could be matched up with. And then every day I thank the Lord for, be able to have someone like that to be able to spend my days with. But, I learn things from her each day. She's very smart, very intelligent, a very avid reader. So when I don't have a chance to read, I learn from her, and she gives me information. And it's just the best learning experience throughout my whole life I could have. Grandkids, my daughter is now a pharmacist in a hospital in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, working very hard right now during these COVID times, but doing her best. And she adopted 3 kids, and because they couldn't have kids for a little while, so brought 3 into the family. And the day the adoption was final, she found out she was pregnant. And so she had one of her own. And then before they could kind of do a process, they had a second one. So now they have 5 kids. So we have 5 grandkids all in one family. But it's a blessing to see them, and they're growing, and we enjoy seeing them when we can. And it's just, a wonderful family atmosphere. And, I can't be more thankful for how things turned out.
Yeah, you've probably been an expert in the flight schedules from Atlanta to Dallas and back, right? Or Columbus to Dallas.
Getting better. Yeah, getting better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You could drive, I suppose, but it's quite a hike.
It's long, yeah.
One or two more things, Dave. So your passion about tennis on campus and high school tennis is I've always been impressed with. Just something about those student athletes that inspires you, or what caused that fire to be lit to try to help those groups of folks enjoy the sport?
Well, I was very lucky getting started in tennis. I started when I was about 14 or 15, so I was kind of a late bloomer, and I did everything average, and I took up tennis, and I somehow did that well. So it was kind of a easy fit for me. And my buddy who used to play basketball with me all the time decided to take up tennis. I took it up too, and we ended up being the 1 and 2 players on our high school team, and both going to the same college to start off playing for college, Division II school, Southwest Baptist. Who's ranked nationally almost every year. But I was very lucky because it was all right there for me in the same town where I was growing up. So at that point in time, I really enjoyed that experience and seeing how people got into the game and where they started and so forth. So that's always intrigued me. And I really felt like tennis on campus was that missing link between getting the juniors who weren't good enough to make varsity to stay in the game and keep them in the game with something that's an exciting program. And Tennis on Campus, I think, fills that void where they can have a team and it's co-ed, and they play together and they get done with the matches and they go out and enjoy a meal together and really have a great time just after the match and off the court as well as on the court. So it's very important to get that high school and that Tennis on Campus relationship kind of blended together so we keep everybody in this game, because there's 360-some thousand high school tennis players, and by the time they reach college age, we're not even close to half that still playing. So trying to keep them going was always my passion, to say, hey, we got to fill this this void that was letting people drop off. And if we don't hit between high school and Tennis on Campus and college, then we're not going to keep them in the game. So that still is my passion. I'm still serving on the Southern committees for Tennis on Campus, and not Tennis on Campus, well, Tennis on Campus for Southern, but high school for national. So hopefully between those two, we can keep that whole area growing.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job, and I'm sure you will continue to do that. So last thing here, I mean, any specific goals for 2021? Obviously, stay safe, stay healthy, service your members down at Green Island. Anything on the radar that you see out there that you're looking to accomplish?
We've been very lucky here. We've been able to stay open all through COVID. Tennis is a very safe sport, as everybody knows, and we knew that ahead of time. It was just the people making those decisions at the CDC and everybody else trying to realize, well, yeah, it's very safe out there. So let's keep everybody going and keep everybody healthy, and so they'll keep coming out. So we've been breaking records like crazy ever since March, and everything hitting and shutting down. We kept going, and my goal is still, it was from the very first day, was to get every single person that walks through our doors on the tennis court and get them out there, whether they're playing tennis or pickleball, at least they're swinging.
Right.
Get them playing. And it's been a nice combination. We're drawing people from pickleball into tennis and both ways. So passion is still going to be the same. We'll always be met with, hey, if you don't play tennis, why not and when?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And here's how you do it. So, I mean, and not only that, Dave, you're just a tremendous teaching professional in terms of your techniques and everything that you do. So, well, Dave, I really want to congratulate you on this award, a very prestigious award, the President's Award for USTA Georgia. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you much, Darren. Have a wonderful day.
And folks, that's Dave Neuhart, the USTA Georgia 2020 President's Award winner, former president of USTA Georgia, amongst many other things that he's done for us and will continue to. You can't stop. We need you in the future, but thanks for joining. Take care.